Let's see. We announce this on Discord. What's going on with Discord today? Ta-da! Okay, everyone live now. All right, let's just share the link. Not this one, but maybe this one. Okay. All right, guys. Good to know we are live. Just wanted to do something fruitful before I go and play badminton. And I mean, today just realized that I need to keep my back straight because I've not been doing it for so long. So I'm gonna sit like this, right? It's gonna be difficult, but we'll try. And let's see how this goes. I think most of the times, right, the way I sit is I'll tell you, right? So this is how I sit, or I don't know this, but actually I'm taller than I look. So I realized that this is a problem. Cool. Let me open my YouTube studio again. Let's open the link again. Let's mute the tab. Making sure everything is fine. Yep, link is there. Let's get it to pop out. Awesome. Live chat, please. I know it's gonna differ time to time, so let me just duplicate again and keep an eye on this. Perfect. If anyone wants to join, they can come and they can like the stream if they want. Let me also share it on WhatsApp with everyone who are on my WhatsApp contact list. I'll let everyone join first and then we're gonna start, guys. As always, it's gonna be an interesting stream because reading papers is fun, right? I mean, especially when you are reading about all these languages, compilers, or whatever, right? Um, and I'll talk about it why I have chosen the paper that I'm gonna read today. Yeah. All right. Okay. Looks like we are ready. I've done this. I have this here. What else do I need? I think yeah, I'll just have one more workspace here. Westum opened. This might end up being helpful. Let me just put myself to the bottom right. See documents, CD projects. Maybe I'll end up cloning source code of Cython or Python as well at some point of time. So I'm just gonna keep it there. This is there. That's it. What else do I need? I think yeah, we're all good, right? Okay, I'm gonna let everyone join if they want to. Otherwise, we'll start in a few seconds. आने वाला कल. I am gonna stream only for a few minutes, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me give them a call. Real, so I've just 1 second, guys. This is for the first time I've seen a shopkeeper cutting the call. It just feels like they don't care. Yo, you want business? No, we don't care. Wow, very funny. Okay, usernames have been truncated. Where have they been truncated? I don't know. They only truncated here, is it? Why? Why would you do that? Okay, cool. Let's get it here. Let's take it to third workspace. I think it's better. Yep. All right. So I was just curious, like, about Cython. I wanted to read a bit about it. Looks like the first of all, the thing that I chose was not the conference wherever it was published because generally I would not expect these kind of papers to be published in like these are not novel papers, right? Like no one has done something that is out of the ordinary or something. The authors looked okay, accountable. University of Oslo, Norway. I don't know this Wisconsin medicine. Of course, we have heard about it, but I don't know the university in particular. National University of Littoral Argentina, Norway, USA, Google USA, Google USA, and AG Senecor Technologies, AG Germany. SRC doesn't look like in alphabetical mode. Maybe given the kind of impact they would have had, that's why they did it. Why would I do this? Yep. So this is the paper I've chosen, and just scrolling through this, I was looking at writing fast high level code, a simple example, and I think some typical use cases they have shared sparse matrices. I've always been interested with sparse things because the way you handle it's very important, right? Because not always you will be having all the inputs as true or something or filled, right? So you can always optimize on that. So yeah, I wanted to take a look. Data transformation, reduction, optimization, and equation solving is there. So they have, I think, mostly shared the use cases and how they would have done it. I don't know how NumPy, SciPy has handled things and all. So they have done this overall. Mm, Decent references, not a lot of them as well. So I think it's going to be a quick, short read. I don't expect this to be a huge 3 to 4 hours of read. We'll try to wrap it up as soon as possible. I don't know if it's possible in 1 hour, but we'll see as much as possible. But yeah, we have to just make sure that we understand most of it, right? So let's start. I'm gonna start the recording as well. All right, guys, just going through this paper, Cython, the best of both worlds, written by the authors mentioned here: Stephen Pennell, Robert Bradshaw, Greg Citro, I hope I'm pronouncing the names right, Lisandro Delkin, Dax Ferry, okay, Kurt Smith, and all these universities and companies are listed here. Okay, let's start with abstract. The way I'm gonna go through this paper is, first of all, I'm gonna start with abstract, of course, and then kind of scroll through the introduction, then look at things. If we don't understand something, we're just gonna skip through that. We are not gonna spend time. Okay, why did we not understand this? What is going on? Because this is waste of time, right? We'll just take a note of these things, and then we'll try to get to that after the paper is done. Okay. So Cython is an extension to the Python language that allows explicit type declarations and is compiled directly to C. So I think mostly they have mentioned explicit type declarations, which is nice, and it's compiled directly to C. Okay, so that gives us a lot of performance improvement. And also, as it says, it's an extension to the Python language, so that means it's an addition, it's not a replacement or something. This addresses Python's large overhead for numerical loops and the difficulty of efficiently making use of existing C and Fortran code, which Cython code can interact with natively. The Cython language combines the speed of C with the power and the simplicity of the Python language. Okay, sounds good. Hi, Varenya, what's up? Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Nerd me, Tara. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. What's up? Thank you for joining. Today it's raining in Bangalore, by the way. Hello. So finally it's raining. Just when I got the AC done, it started raining. I'm like, okay. So what is there, right? Introduction: Python success is a platform for scientific computing. To date is primarily due to two factors. One of them is definitely like usability, right? Tends to be readable and concise, leading to a rapid development cycle and slow maintenance cycle, right? Second, Python provides access to this internals from C via Python C API. Python provides access to its internals from C via the Python C API. So, okay, that's one thing that people also use Python for. Interesting. This makes it possible to interface with existing C or C++ and Fortran code, as well as write critical sections in C when speed is essential. Okay. Now it's gonna get hotter after rain. Then he happens here to Esa. With each rain, heat increases. Jab tak rain doesn't go on for a while. Monsoon makes sense. I mean, I hope so. I don't hope that it gets hot. I just hope I mean, people survive happily. I was about to say that I hope it gets hot so that my AC gets into use. Heat and humidity increases. I mean, it's yeah, right. Like, but also I think sometimes in the north, right, it just happens that once it rains, it's okay for 1 or 2 days, but then it gets hotter. Like it's not just humidity, but in Bangalore, maybe it's just that humidity will increase, and of course, it's gonna get worse. I hate humidity for sure. I hate humidity. Yeah, like I've seen in the north that even it increases. So though Python is plenty fast for many tasks, low level computational code in written in Python tends to be slow, largely due to the extremely dynamic nature of the Python language itself. In particular, low level computational loops are simply infeasible. Okay, what do you mean by infeasible though, right? Although NumPy eliminates the need for many such loops, there are always going to be computations that can only be expressed well through looping constructs, right? This like one thing I've always been curious about, right? That if NumPy was able to solve some problem, why can't Python have it? Like, and I think it's mostly because of the underlying data structure that they use. Like NumPys have NumPy array and particular d types and all, right? Python is a simple list structure, right? So it cannot enforce a lot of things on you that okay, this is how the shape should be and all. Depends, right? So I'm also very curious to look at NumPy's code base and try to understand okay, what's going here and there, right? What's the difference? So we'll go to that as well. Now, given the magnitude of existing well-tested code in Python, Fortran and C, rewriting any of this code in Python would be a waste of our valuable resources. Given the magnitude of existing well-tested code in Fortran and C, which is what they're saying basically, that if you end up rewriting most of it, whatever it is written in Fortran and C, it would be a waste of our valuable resources. A big part of the role of Python in science is its ability to couple together existing components instead of reinventing the wheel. For instance, the Python specific SciPy library, it contains 200,000 2 lakh lines of C++ code, 60,000 lines of C, and 75,000 lines of Fortran. I think Fortran is mostly for computation, like all these whatever complex formulas are there or things are there. I think that's what Fortran is being used for, compared to about 70,000 lines of Python code. So SciPy just has around 70,000 lines of code and 200,000 lines of C++ and all. So they've just wanted to mention that, when you use something from the front end, Python is there. Don't end up thinking that, okay, everything is written in back end in Python as well, right? So, I mean, one good thing about Python, what they're saying is that, okay, it can couple well with other languages, right? Which is what has been happening so far, right? So wrapping of existing code for use from Python has traditionally been the domain of Python experts, as the Python C API has a high learning curve, which makes sense. I mean, it's not so easy to catch up. Fortran for chat stuff, C or C++ chat solid stuff, and Python for solid. What about Rust? C types is horrifying. Could be. Heat me. By the way, hi Meow, welcome to stream. Guys, if anyone is here, they can say hi in the chat. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna say hi back. Okay, I'm not gonna give you a FOMO, fear of missing out. Alright, so what else is there, right? Cython solves both of these problems by compiling Python code. What is okay? This is, while one can use such wrappers without ever knowing about their internets, they draw a sharp line between users and developers. Okay, this all is okay, just a philosophical thing. Now, Cython solves both of these problems by compiling Python code with some extensions directly to C. So Cython, what does it do? It compiles the Python code with whatever extensions you have as extra extensions, like third party maybe, directly to C, which is then compiled and linked against Python. I want to understand what does it mean by linked against Python, right? So I think it just means that, okay, with Python interpreter, you can use it. Yeah, ready to use from the interpreter, right? Um, or you should check out C types. You can just load up C bindings. I see. I believe that I've seen C type somewhere, but I've not used it personally, to be honest. Maybe that's why it's horrifying and I never got to use it. Though through its use of C types, Cython C space types, Cython makes it possible to embed numerical loops running at C speed directly in Python code. Cython also significantly lowers the learning curve for calling C or C++ and Fortran code from Python. Using Cython, any programmer with knowledge of both Python and C++ or Fortran can easily use them together. Okay. In this paper, what they have done, we present an overview of the Cython language. Okay, Cython compiled in several examples. We gave guidelines on where Cython can be expected to provide significantly higher performance than pure Python and NumPy code, and where NumPy is a good choice in its own right. I think this is a very important thing, right? Not always you end up using NumPy. Not always parallel programming is the only solution. Not always multiprocessing is the only solution, right? So you have to think about it as well, because there's always a context switch that happens, right? If I'm doing it from Python, then I'm going into C internals. There's always a context switch, right? So you have to understand, okay, whether you want to use it or not. So maybe they have touched upon it. We further show how the Cython compiler speeds up Python code and how it can be used to interact directly with the C code. Okay. We also cover FWrap, a close relative of Cython. FWrap is used for automatically creating fast wrappers around Fortran code to make it callable from C, Cython, and Python. Okay. Cython is based on Pyrex by Greg Ewing. I've seen. I feel like I know him. Where was this? Pyrex. Why does it not? Yes, I've used Async.io. I don't want to talk about it for now. Greg. Async has been always a tricky thing in Python, right? Okay. I really feel like Cython might be a good idea when you have to deal with multiprocessing. I've used in multiple heavy computations before when I was at Coincide, for example. Um, Examples: Pyrex, a language for writing Python extension modules. Pyrex lets you write code that mixes Python and C data types any way you want, and compiles it into a C extension for Python. So if you're like, that's what I was saying, right? You're calculating prime numbers, define an extension type, this. It was last released on 2010, comparatively recently, right? I don't know the year, but we can take a look. Async.io Python. When was it released? Python 3, you mean? Node.js inspired a lot of languages to do it. I don't remember the recent bit, but it wasn't really difficult to deal with it. Checking it out. Wait, yeah, take a look. Meanwhile, I'm gonna continue. Okay. So, all right, this is done. Cython is based on Pyrex by Greg Ebbing. It's been one of the more friendly folks in open source, and we are thankful to Greg's cooperation. The two projects have somewhat different goals. Pyrex aims to be a smooth blend of Python and C, while Cython focuses more on preserving Python semantics where it can. So it's more like a Pyrex is like, okay, you want both of Python and C. Okay, we'll give you a like smooth blend of it. Cython is like, okay, we're still gonna prioritize Python semantics and all. We're gonna keep that going, and you, in addition to that, you just get better performance because of C extensibility. Cython also contains some features for numerical computation that are not found in Pyrex. Okay, cool. I think there's this pitching for Cython here. In particular, fast numpy array access. Okay, Cython has a fast numpy array access. I did not know about this. Okay, there's some out of Python and Cython. For some reason, I think Python is superior object project. For some reason, I don't know anything about Python. I hope it's not a joke. Let me take a look. Is Python really a thing? Python with braces. Python with braces because Python is awesome, but white space is awful. Ah, braces. It was last released in 2018. I'm sorry, I'm very sleepy. Okay. Async.io came in 2014, I guess. All right. Mia Monster, this is what you meant by Python, right? I did not know about Python for some reason. And are like, can you compare both Python and Cython? I thought they're slightly different. Okay, so what else do we have, right? The two projects have somewhat different goals. Okay, this is done. While there's a subset of syntax that will work both in Pyrex and Cython, the languages are diverging and one will in general have to choose one or the other. Alright, for instance, the syntax for calling C++ code is different in Pyrex and Cython since this feature was added long after the fork. Okay. It's a joke project, I think, or is it? I think it just adds this thing, braces and semicolons and all. I think just, yeah. They just wanted to make All right. So what other things are there? Now there are other projects that make possible the inclusion of compiled code in Python. Okay. Example v1 instant. A comparison of several such tools can be found in this. Another often used approach is to implement the core algorithm in C or C++ or Fortran and then create wrappers for Python. It's more like, okay. Such wrappers can be created with Cython or with more specialized tools such as Swig, C types, which is what he was talking about, Boost, .python or F2py. Now each tool has its own flavor. Swig is able to automatically wrap C or C++ code with, while Cython and C types require redeclaration of the functions to wrap. Okay. Now Swig and Cython require a compilation stage which C types does not. On the other hand, if one gets a declaration wrong using C types, it can result in unpredictable program crashes without prior warning. Okay, interesting. With Boost.python, one implements a Python module in C++, which, depending on who do you ask, is either a great feature or a great disadvantage. Okay. With Boost.python, one implements a Python module in C++, which, depending on who you ask, what do they mean by Python module in C++? Just when the rain comes, it gets very sleep. I mean, I get very sleepy. Finally, NumExpert and Theano are specialized tools for quickly re-evaluating numerical expressions. See below. Theano, we have always heard, right? When if you're using PyTorch for so long, you will always would have heard about Theano. To summarize, Cython could be described as a Swiss Army knife. It lacks the targeted functionality of more specialized tools, but its generality and versatility allows its application in almost any situation that requires going beyond pure Python code. Okay, it's just not very specific, right? It's possible that for some use case specific, you have different kind of library or framework. So that's could be what it is, right? Cython is a programming language based on Python that is translated into C or C++ code and finally compiled into binary extension modules that can be loaded into a regular Python session. It's like import whatever name you have. That's basically a binary extension module, right? Cython extends the Python language with explicit type declarations of the native C types. One can annotate attributes and function calls to be resolved at compile time as opposed to runtime. Okay. With the extra information from the annotations, Cython is able to generate code that sidesteps most of the usual runtime costs. So I mean, a lot of things start with, okay, what this variable is, right? Once the compiler knows about it, okay, this is what it is, they'll end up optimizing it further, right? For example, in NumPy D types, when you give a string, right, if you could have, okay, uh, different kind of strings, right? Okay, you say that, okay, I only need two characters, so I need string with just two characters. You could pass it to that, right? In that case, of course, compared to runtime, compile time is going to be better because they know that, okay, you don't need a dynamic array over here. You can just have a static array of two length and that's it, right? It's as simple as that. Like an array of a fixed length compared to a vector, which is a dynamic array. There are operations that could be faster in an array compared to a vector, right? That's it. Now, generated code can take advantage of all the optimizations the C or C++ compiler is aware of without having to re-implement them as part of Cython. The generated code can take advantage of all the optimizations the C or C++ compiler is aware of without having to implement them as part of Python. Okay. There's a question: isn't there a Python implementation with JIT? I think that definitely, if you just search for Python JIT, I think someone would have made it. I thought Numba is there, of course. There you go. I thought Python would have been a thing. It would have been cool though. I I've not explored much of JIT to be honest. Like, it's something I have to do one day, but I've not done it yet. Um, Now, Cython integrates the C language and the Python runtime through automatic conversions between Python types and C types, allowing the programmer to switch between the two without having to do anything by hand. The same applies when calling into external libraries written in C, C++, or Python. It's very simple, right? When you think about it, you have x equal to 2. By default, it's going to be a, let's say, int64, right? And when you want to, like, if it's coming from C, right, it says, okay, int32. You have to convert the int32 equivalent of C into int32 equivalent of Python, right? So it's just saying that, okay, while coming like back and forth between Python types and C types, they do an automatic conversion, and this, like, knowing the types also helps the programmer to switch between the two without having to do anything by hand. Sorry, the automatic conversion helps them do that. The same applies when calling into external libraries written in C, C++, or Python. Accessing them is a native operation in Cython code, so calling back and forth between Python code, Cython code, and native library code is trivial. If Kushashwa looks, oh sorry, um, also Kusha, oh, by the way, you spelled it wrong. If Kushashwa looks at the camera, I believe my soul will leave my body. I'm just not so used to it. Right, I have to do this. The thing is, I have to keep a, like, camera cannot be on my monitor because monitor is still like on the top boundary or whatever on border, right? The Kusha, ha ha. Vishnu. Okay. You guys having fun now? I see. I'll remove you guys from Git Master role on Discord. You guys know it, right? Kushashwa, you don't know me calls you Kusha, ha ha. Yeah, nice to know. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. All the kindness that you guys show. I'll make sure that this reciprocates back when I call you guys by your names. Okay, jokes apart, I think accessing them is a native operation in Cython code. I'm trying to look at the camera. I can't. I'm reading a paper. So calling back and forth between Python code, Cython code, and native library code is trivial. Of course, if you're manually annotating every variable, attribute, and then return type with type information, we might as well be writing C or C++ directly. Which makes sense, right? People are going to see that, okay, if I have to write int x equal to 2, why do I even have to use Python for that? But anyways, int x equal to 2 is such a bad example. Lemma, we are such kind viewers for our streamer. You're kind viewers? You guys are bullies. Now, here's where Cython's approach of extending the Python language really shines. Anything that Cython cannot determine statically is compiled with the usual Python semantics, meaning that you can selectively speed up only those parts of a program that expose significant execution times. The key thing to keep in mind is this context is a Pareto principle. Okay, hearing for the first time. Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. 80% of the runtime is spent in 20% of the source code. Okay, I see where they're coming from. We are preparing you for the real world. It is bad out there. This is practice. There's a song called It's Cold Out There. Like the song name is not there, but there was a line in that song. It's cold out there. I think I've kind of related a lot with that line, to be honest. Also, I think my logo is coming in between. I hope this is better. Ta-da! So where were we, right? Now this leads to an extremely productive workflow in Python. Users can simply develop with Python. So what they're saying is this means that a little bit of annotation in the right spot can go a long way. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze. Now users can simply develop with Python, and if they find that significant amount of time is being spent paying Python overheads, they can compile parts or all of their project with Cython, possibly providing some annotations to speed up the critical parts of the code. So what that means is you can have some part of code in Python and some part of code being compiled with Cython. For code that spends almost all its execution time in libraries doing things like FFTs. What is FFT? This Fourier transform, is it? Fast Fourier transforms, right? Matrix multiplication or linear system solving. Cython fills the same rapid development role as Python. However, as you extend the code, yes, fast Fourier, right? However, as you extend the code with new functionality and algorithms, you can do this directly in Cython. And just by providing a little extra type information, you can get all the speed of C without all the headaches. What do you mean by headache? C has no headache. C has just malloc, calloc, realloc, and all. A simple example, as an introductory example, consider naive numerical integration of the gamma function. I don't even know what is gamma function, by the way. A fast C implementation of the gamma function is available example in the GNU scientific library and can easily be made available to Cython through some C declarations in Cython code. Double refers to a double precision floating type in C. So what they're doing is cdef extern from gsl/gsl underscores sf.h double gsl underscore sf underscore gamma double x double whatever. One can then write a Cython function callable from Python to approximate the definite integral. So then they are, and I think then they are using this gsl sf gamma x max, for example. That's what they're using here, right? And this function is well over here, gsl underscore sf underscore gamma. So I think it's just getting that from the C GNU scientific library, and then we're using it. I don't want to go into code here. I think we don't need to know how whatever this integrate gamma does. Now this is pure Python code, except that C types int comma double are statically declared for some variables using Cython specific. Okay. Cdef int I, cdef double dx equal to this. I see. So they have done this. Gamma is for generalization of factorials for non-integral numbers. Google told me. Gamma is for generalization of vector factorials for non-integral numbers. Oh, Google told me. That's okay. Nice. Okay, so the cdef keyword, complex numbers, makes sense. Okay, got it. The cdef keyword is a Cython extension to the language, as is the cdef keyword is a Cython extension to the language, as is prepending the type in the argument list. In effect, Cython provides a mixture of C and Python. The above code is 30 times faster than the corresponding Python loop and much more memory efficient, although not any faster than the corresponding NumPy expression. Okay, so compared to NumPy, it's still on par, but in terms of memory, it's much faster. I mean, much better, more efficient. in the corresponding numpy expression, which is what they've done. Scipy dot spatial dot gamma, np dot linspace a comma b comma n endpoint equal to false, and then they're doing this np dot sum y. Cython especially shines in more complicated examples where for loops are the most natural or only viable solution. So I think when you're iterating to the like using the for loop, that's where it just basically shines. That's what they're trying to say. Writing fast high level code. Python is a very high level programming language and constrains itself to a comparatively small set of language constructs that are both simple and powerful. To map them to efficient C code, the Cython compiler applies tightly tailored and optimized implementations for different use patterns. It therefore becomes possible to write simple code that executes very efficiently. This is a useless paragraph. Given how much time most programs spend in loops, an important target for optimizations is the for loop in Python, which is really a for each loop that can run over any iterable object. For example, the following code iterates over the lines of file. Yeah, we all know this, right? What I mean, we have always fought around for loop being the cause because O of n, if the n is the length of the iterator, whatever you're iterating. The Python language avoids special cases where possible, so there is no special syntax for a plain integer for loop. Okay. However, there is a common idiom for it. Example for integer loop from 0 to 999. You can do this. The Cython compiler recognizes this pattern and transforms it into an efficient for loop in C if the value range and the type of the loop variable allow it. Similarly, when iterating over a sequence, it is sometimes required to know the current index inside of the loop body. Python has a special function for this called enumerate, which wraps the iterable. Like, yeah, that's all we know, right? So if you want to know the index, what's the current index, you can use enumerate. Cython knows this pattern too and reduces the wrapping of the iterable to a simple counter variable so that the loop can run over the iterable itself with no additional override. Cython's for loop has optimizations for the most important built-in Python container and string types, and it can even iterate directly over low-level types such as C arrays of a known size or slice pointers. Let's see what they're basically saying. Check if chars at offsets 3 to 9, 9 is exclusive, are any of ABC, ABC. So print char val in B, B is for bytes by the way, ABC, ABC. C string from 3 to 10. Oh, 9 was inclusive here, is it? Okay. Another example where high-level language idioms lead to specialized low-level code is cascaded if statements. Many languages provide a special switch statement for testing integer-like values against a set of different cases. Okay, a common Python idiom uses the nominal if statement. If int value equal to 1, you do this, then you do this. Now this reads well without needing a special syntax. However, C compilers often fold switch statements into more efficient code than sequential or nested if-else statements. Okay. If Cython knows that the type of the int value variable, okay, over here this variable is compatible with a C integer, example an enum value, it can extract an equivalent switch statement directly from the above code. So basically, they just check whether the given types are compatible or not. If it allows, and it converts into a switch case statement. I'm very curious, though I never thought that switch case is faster, but it just makes sense, right? No, but I really thought that. I mean, if else in C versus switch case in C is something I'm very curious about. We should check it out, guys. Several of these patterns have been implemented in the Cython compiler, and new optimizations are easy to add. It therefore becomes reasonable for code writers to stick to the simple and readable idioms of the Python language, to rely on the compiler to transform them into well socialized and fast C language constructs, and to only take a closer look at the code sections, if any, that still prove to be performance critical in benchmarks. So whatever, like, when we say that, okay, I know what's the bottleneck, it just means that whatever that is causing the performance, like slowing down the performance, and mostly whatever that is on the top, you choose that as a bottleneck. Apart from its powerful control flows constructs, a high-level language feature that makes Python so productive is its support for object-oriented language. True to the rest of the language, Python classes are very dynamic. Methods and attributes can be added, inspected, and modified at runtime, and new types can be dynamically created on the fly. Yep. Of course, this flexibility comes with a performance cost. Cython allows one to statically compile classes into C-level struct layouts with virtual function tables in such a way that they integrate seamlessly into the Python class hierarchy without any of the Python overhead. Now, right, like, I think it just means that if you know that this class can have another method being added to the class, right, and all, it's static versus dynamic, right? So what they're basically saying is Cython will allow you to statically compile classes into, like, in C we don't have classes, right? We have structs. So that's what it allows you to do. Though much scientific data fits nicely into arrays, sometimes it does not, and Cython's support for compiled classes allows one to efficiently create and manipulate more complicated data structures like trees, graphs, maps, and other heterogeneous hierarchical objects. Makes sense. Some typical use cases: Cython has been successfully used in a wide variety of situations, from the half a million lines of Cython code in Sage, oh, to providing Python friendly wrappers to C libraries to a small personal projects. Here are some example use cases demonstrating where Cython has proved valuable. Okay, so that's like all these points wherever they say that, okay, it has ended up being valuable for us. Nice. I'm gonna stop now this paper reading. We'll continue next time. One thing, okay, I should stop the video as well. I'm tired, guys. It's very gloomy today. I don't know. I just feel like, okay, why am I even there? CS, CS, CS. You want to play CS? We can play CS. I don't mind. Fortunately, I have an inverter. Electricity has gone on and off pretty much many times, 3 to 4 times already. Hmm. I've not reviewed or tested these patches. Patches use them at your own risk. Okay, which adds conditional compilation facilities. Nice, right? What's the email message? I noticed something about conditional compilation in the recent patch from Stephen Bennell. Maybe it's time to pipe up about this change I've been sitting on. Oh, so this is the guy who actually wrote the. Oh, that's why he's on the top, is it? Okay, the attached patch extends the Pyrex syntax to support three forms of directive, which allows some compile time changes to the output. Now, Greg Eving isn't a big fan of this, and I agree with him that conditions are bad in many ways. I don't blame him in the least for not wanting this what in the language. However, we desperately need this functionality for our work at Ironport, and the patch isn't all that large. We are currently using it for debugging, instrumentation, assertions, platform differentiation, etc. I hope others find it useful. The new syntax is person define name expr if expr suit to be merged, else suit to be merged, import module name. Okay, there's a single global compile time namespace for expr. You can put just about anything you like. It's very flexible. One sample I tried grep through an include file. How that's ugly. Okay, the patches against this, a demo file with setup.py is also included. Comments or feedback appreciated. Yes, CS computer science. Huh, very bad. Hmm. All right, guys. I'm gonna hop off and go sleep again. What have they done though? Have they changed the parser? Don't laugh. If I equal to this indentation level minus equal to 1, remove existing white space line dot l strips. This is how they've done it, is it? What? So parse file, right? Converts a Python file into a Python file, writes into a disk. Ah, okay. So you can pass it a Python file and you can convert into Python file. How many of you like regex? To be honest, I want to really understand, is regex really O of 1? I mean, I don't know if they claim to be over fun, but I want to know the time complexity of it, right? It's not over fun, right? Yeah. But like, yeah, I want to understand the internals of regex. Yeah, I don't think they claim to be over fun. Yeah. When you say this to like in an interview, many guys go and say that, okay, we'll use regex here. Da da da. Whenever they see for loop, they think that's O is O of n. Everything else is O of 1. Why? Because it's a single function call, right? Internals of regex would be a really cool series, not just a stream. Yeah, I know. Like in those kind of series, I need to be focused. Yeah, goes back to finite automata. Yeah, yeah. For those who have studied compiler design courses, it just needs to be gamified for me to learn. I've never understood regex like regular expressions. Yep, Osman also sit with. Okay, let me get it here. Sits with paper pen in my nerd hat. I think going through regex interns will be really, really cool, right? Because we are always curious, how is it even working, right? When I pass, let's say, okay, okay, I'm saying star, right? How is it calculating that, okay, anything after this? When I say dollar, how does it know that, okay, end of the line or something? I think these are very cool things to just go through. Like for that, I think I'll have to do my homework. I can't do a random stream. I'll have to do my homework well. Yes, do it. Regex is really confusing. Yes, sir. I'd rather use a website to hit and try my way through it instead of learning it. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone expects you to learn regex, right? It's just my thing is like, first of all, it's not easy to test, right? Like if I'm having a problem, it's just very hard for me to figure out, okay, is this logic wrong? Is this logic wrong? Like it's very difficult, right? At the same point of time, the whole, if you end up overusing regex, which a lot of people do, right? That's where I kind of think that, okay, no, this is limits, right? You should stop right here. It is what it is, right? Yeah. Hmm. 180 videos uploaded on the stream. Wow. And there are always edge cases where it misses out. Yeah. Use regex functions as units, so one unit doesn't one thing only and not getting multiple stuff. I wish that would have been an option. And you keep on adding forever. Yeah. Like I think, as I said, like, are you sure it's gonna work? We'll see. If you guys have heard about this thing, right? What was that Cloud9? What's the web, like this thing happened, right? Major issue happened with cloud service down. It went down, right? Cloud9 is famous hospital. Cloud9 is a CS Counter Strike gaming team as well, in my defense. So that's where it came from. Okay. What was that? What was the company that had this Cloudflare outage? Yep. I vaguely remember that this also, yeah. So if you kind of look at the thumbnail as well, it was mostly about regex. Half of the internet filter, yes. It's an interesting, like, I think you guys should take a look as well if you would like to. Kevin Feng, who is this guy? How Steambug deleted someone's entire PC. Oh, these are interesting things I want to read about sometimes. Like, the kind of impact your code has. I mean, when you hear these stories, then you realize that, okay, oh wow. Hmm. I've been doing gymming a lot, by the way, guys. Is some people end up doing a lot, 2 or 3 hours. I am not able to do 2 or 3 hours of gym right now, but 1.5 hours is what I'm doing. 500 lines or less introduction. No, yeah. Let me quickly search. 500 lines or less introduction or less focus is okay. 500 lines or less introduction. Oh, this is the fourth volume. Okay, Architecture Open Source Application Series. Oh wow. Where's the book though? Is it in a PDF form or do you have to buy it? Would probably go in something like this. Is it? I'll have to take a look. Okay, buy. You have to buy. Okay. Maybe one day. Hmm. Financial support of PagerDuty. Nice. 29K stars. Wow. So what does it have though? Is it a website or something? Have they uploaded all the codes here? I don't know. Maybe I'll take a look. Cool. Nice guys. Hope you're all doing fine by the way, everyone. It is free. Oh, okay. I'll take a look. I'm starting to feel that I need to. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to talk about it, I know I'm slightly down to talk about it, but still, since most of, like, I mean, only you guys watch my streams generally, so I'll just let you all know. The thing is with streams, I've definitely realized that, I'm not doing a lot of development, right? And I'm doing a lot of talking, which is of course fine. Like that's like mostly where you go in streaming journey, right? The point is that I need to learn first, right? Like I where context pilot is right now, a lot of asynchronous thing is left, and the reason it is left is because I don't know enough about it, right? I mean, there's nothing to hide. Still learning, still a lot of things to improve in context pilot, and I believe that if I kind of go and learn a few more things and then kind of talk about it, it's fair, right? That doesn't mean that streams will not happen. Yes, yes, context pilot is a Rust project you're working on. Yeah. अब तो निशान ने भी जॉब छोड़ दी कोर्स के लिए. हाय प्रेम. यार मैं निशांत को जानता भी नहीं हूँ यार. आई एम प्रीटी श्योर ही विल आल्सो नॉट नो मी. छोड़ो ये सब बातें, कल की बात पुरानी. नए दौर से लिखेंगे हम, मिलकर नई कहानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी. कौन निशांत भाई? यार भाई कौन निशांत? छोड़ो ये सब. इनकी जॉब छोड़ना, लाइक कुछ नहीं है. छोटे छोटी चीज़ें हैं. ठीक है. लेट इट बी. ये सब करते रहेंगे. I mean, these people are gonna keep doing the same. Okay, like okay, we're gonna launch this course. Da da da. Like, I mean, why just blame Indian YouTubers, right? Like, even foreign YouTubers are not different. Like, you see what Prime has been doing for so long, right? He started with this development, but at least, like, of course, he has changed a lot of lives in general as well. Like, for good, he has never done something wrong. All I'm saying is that he has done it openly, and he has not spoiled open source or something like that, right? He has not done anything wrong. It's just said, okay, he's doing clickbait fine. He is streaming, talking, he's doing fine. But हमारे यहाँ people are going the wrong path. That's the problem with YouTubers. Yeah. No, Prime's courses are really good. Like, I mean, if you look at frontendmasters.com, he has really good knowledge. If not knowledge, the energy he has, it kind of keeps you going. They promise job security. No one, if anyone is promising you security, that means they are lying. Okay, like a lot of people, like when I was at abnormal security, for example, a lot of people will come and talk to me that, hey, like, is the job secure? I'm like, by the way, I can't promise job security. Like, even the co-founder will not. Even the co-founder will not come and tell himself that, okay, I'm going to stay here for next 15, 50 years, 60 years, 10 years, 2 years, 1 year. He's going to say that we're going to do our best and make sure that it works, right? Like, there is no one who can promise you job security, except that you should be like, okay, if it is not secure enough, I should be skilled enough to go and say that, okay, right, this will work. Making a course is fine. Making use of gullible college students is what pisses me off. Exactly. Like, I mean, yeah, not just college students, they just literally bring a girl on the YouTube channel and they just grow their channel because of that. I mean, I don't even want to talk shit about this thing now. Like, if that's how they want to, like, how many people have really grown their YouTube channel based on the skills they would like to have and they would like others to have, right? You stop at Python versus C++. You start how I use VS Code. You start with these extensions, 3 extensions that you should use with VS Code. Why? What's going on, right? I mean, what do you get out of it, right? Like, and what even viewers get out of it? Like, okay, they get something out of it, but after that, what? Right? What did you like? How are you following up with this, right? That's my problem, right? Okay, Python versus C++ could be a really really good video, right? I mean, if you know, um, faster than lime, he did a video on Rust versus C++. I'm not saying that it's a bad video to make about, but look at his Rust versus C++ video and look at our Python versus C++ video. Our YouTubers say this, guys, if you want a job, you should use Python this way. There they say that Python, by honestly, is this fast, C++ is this fast because of these internals. They never said this, if you want a 10,000 job, you can go with this. Within 2 weeks, you'll get a job, right? For this and that, you should do this. Code with Harry is the the biggest fraud on YouTube. Farming views cause people cannot decide what to use, and it's just 3 plugins being parroted around. Yeah. Yes. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's the one who started this already, right? Like, I mean, this guy, I don't even, like, whenever I say Python C++, I literally mean code with Harry. I mean, have you looked at his notes, for example, right? Like, they don't even make sense to me. Data structures notes, I believe they used to stop at, um, पता नहीं कहाँ, the big expose AI scam, Devin was a lie. Look at 198K views. He's teaching that same thing again and again. He doesn't seem experienced just by the way, hi Pratik, thank you so much for joining. He's teaching that same thing again and again, and he doesn't seem experienced just by now how he explains stuff. I don't think he even peer to application using peers. AGI is coming. 5 things I'm going to beat AI. Copy these. Bhai, what shit is this? Like, I mean, make your website 5x faster. कुछ नहीं है. It's width, not depth. He makes a shit ton of courses, although everything is basic. Yeah, I think he is just width and not depth. देखो, look at this, right? 15 plus LPA. Like, you are trying to hit that nerve. I understand that's for your, I mean, you're doing business. Like, I mean, just accept it, right? ये 15 plus LPA डालने वाली चीज, I mean, this all is bullshit, right? You don't act like his attempt to teach basics and these coding techniques to people who, in short time, which took me ages to learn. Buddy, what's your age, first of all, right? When you say that. At Code with Harry, I provide a quick end to the point demo along with resources of anything and everything I teach. Anything and everything I teach. Thank you so much for putting both of these words together. Source code and other resources are hosted on my website, codewithharry.com. I provide source code, if any, in the description of every video. Business inquiries, harry@codewithharry.com. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Ages to learn. What do you mean? What's even your age? You joined April 28, 2018, right? It's been 6 years for your channel. I don't know. If you look at his most popular video, right? Python tutorials for beginners in Hindi with notes, right? 11 hours, 52 minutes. Let's just go with his. Yeah, look at this. ये क्या, like, छोड़ो. Introduction to Java, HTML tutorials for beginners in Hindi, CSS tutorial. So he's a beginner person, right? I mean, he is still a beginner. So why is he talking about AGI? Right? I mean, my point is you stick to that, right? You keep talking about Python. Yes, almost lost it. Yep. I think it's still good. He never uses his IIT tag to attract someone. Never sell courses. Definitely good for beginners. Handwritten notes. That's the starting of whole. IIT tag. I don't know where did he graduate from. I'm not even curious, buddy. It's like यार देखो point क्या है ना कि you Prem, if you want to know थोड़ा just कि where did he this guy start from, right? I think he is the reason when काफी a lot of things happened wrong in open source. ठीक है, अब ये देखो how I learn type. Okay, please tell me 23 minutes. Okay, how did you learn? Okay, right, right. Okay, फेस बनाने से टाइपिंग स्पीकली. छोड़ो, मैं कुछ बोल बैठूंगा फालतू में. ये ऑडियंस है जिनको कॉलेज का पेपर पास होना है, पाइथन नहीं सीखना, हैंड रिटन दैट शिट. या यही है, ठीक है, ठीक है. देखो, ऑल आई एम सेइंग इज लाइक इट्स ओके, यू आर डूइंग अ बिजनेस, जस्ट एक्सेप्ट इट एंड मूव ऑन. ठीक है, ये ज़्यादा पाठ मत पढ़ाओ किसी को कि ओके यू आर डूइंग दिस एंड ऑल. नॉट जस्ट हिम, ये तो छोड़ो. 6 CID देखो, छोड़ो ये सब बातें. ही इज फ्रॉम सम, यस, आई मीन, या देखो, ही डजंट टॉक that he is from IT because he is doing these business beginner level courses. Like, I mean, understand, if he's from IT, I'll go and talk to him about like literally compilers and all. I'm like, buddy, must have studied compiler design, right? Can you please talk to me about all this? Then he's like, no, no, no. So he is hiding IT, not because he doesn't want to, like, he wants to act honest and all. Nahi, he's afraid that people will come and talk to him like, okay, IIT में ब्रांच कौन सी थी, ब्रांच करी तो करी, पढ़ा क्या वहाँ पे जाके, why are you still stuck on beginner? अरे जब if you know things, you are done with beginner level stuff. आपका पाइथन का कोर्स हो गया है. Talk about Python intermediate, right? अगर आपको इतना ही सिखाना है, if you really want to teach something, start from Python beginners, take it to intermediate, take it to advanced. Why don't you do it? How will India grow, right? Imagine talking about IT and talking about Python for beginners and typing speed. Exactly, right? Like, I mean, I'm graduate from Triple IT, right? And Triple IT in Air, but it's not even a college like top colleges and all. ठीक है, I use that आई से दिस विद प्राइड कि ठीक है, आई डिडंट कंप्यूटर साइंस इंजीनियरिंग, कम एंड आस्क मी क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है, मेरा सीजीपीए इतना था, इट वाज 9 प्लस बाय द वे. आई एम जस्ट किडिंग. ठीक है, तो ये, आई मीन दीस थिंग्स आर देयर. आई कैन proudly say that I worked for Nvidia as an intern. Now come and talk to me about CUDA. It's okay. I'll face it, right? Like, of course, I'm not using it as a brand value or something. I'm just saying, yes, I worked for it. Come and talk to me about it. I will give you something that I learned from there, right? I don't talk about IT, so you should watch me. Yeah, that's the selling point. CID देखो, CID इंस्पेक्टर दया का हुआ मौत. Okay, I need to watch this. I took you. Yay. नहीं, I took you नहीं, I had to watch later. Me proud with my 7 CG, proudly talking about everything. It's more than beginner level. Exactly right. I'm not saying that CGPA matters, but all I'm saying is कि यार देखो, अगर कुछ earn किया है, right? अगर मैंने, like, I'll tell you one thing honestly, right? If I would start doing this thing, let's say if I'm running 10 kilometers, right? I'll go and talk about it. I'll not hide. ठीक है, I'll not boast about it for sure, but I'll go and talk about it. कि ठीक है, now like, I already ran 10 kilometers by the way. Me with my BCA, I've heard BCA people are really good by the way. Yeah, I don't think it's not a good idea. Yeah, I mean, don't ask about my starting package as a software engineer. It was, um, ideally, like, the way I see it is probably you should move around 14 to 20 lakhs per annum as a base for starters, for freshers. But it really depends on the company to company. If you want to know my package, I think, let it be. This is like, you can join our Discord channel. A fellow BCA grad here. Oh, you don't have to do that, buddy. I'm a plain simple guy. I was just very lucky that people were kind enough to give me that opportunity and give me that pay for my work. Okay. I'm not saying that, okay, uh, I'm this and I'm that. It's just I've been very fortunate enough that I have all of you as well here, right? And people outside India as well. मैं तो वालसी हूँ, trying to do 2 jobs to cross 10 LPA area. यार, honestly speaking, I was talking to my friend. I was saying, यार, हम लोग जब कॉलेज में थे, when we were in our college, we used to, like, I used to do internships. So I did 1.5 years of internship in my second and third year, and fourth year में 6 months internship किया था. So during my college days, I used to earn some hourly basis pay, right, and some 250 rupees or something, right, and I would try to earn as much money as possible. And all of my, like, even my third year of, I don't remember, third or fourth year, but I paid my even fees, college fees with my salary. I'm not proud of it, to be honest. Like, I think it happened because I had money. Otherwise, I would have been very happy to take that money from my father. He's my father after all, right? Um, it's not like I'm saying कि मैंने अपनी salary खुद से pay की थी. नहीं, people misunderstand. Like, when I'll tell you a myth. Okay, when they go and say that, okay, I paid the fees of my college fees for these 2 semesters खुद से. I did not ask my parents. But you go and ask your parents. वो तुम्हारे खाने का, वो तुम्हें monthly pay करने का, your flight expenses when you're going outside for internship, they'll have your back. How much they've paid for you, and you're just boasting on one fact that you did not pay your, I mean, you paid your college fees yourself. Never do that, right? So I'm just saying कि मैंने पे किया था because of that internship, but it was very less. We used to earn like around, how much, अगर हमें at that point of time, if we would even get 10,000 per month, we'll be like, yes, खाने का पैसा निकल जाएगा, खाने और रहने का. We used to say this thing, right? Okay. Nowadays it's like 1 lakh per month, 1.2 lakh per month, 1.5 lakh per month. चलो अच्छा है, महंगाई बढ़ गई है. I understand things have grown. I mean, things are grown up now. But at the same point of time, you should really get used to it as well, right? I mean, whatever pay you are getting, you should be religious about it. Bangalore में रहोगे यही होगा. Yes, true. There's a problem with Bangalore culture, to be honest. Like, I mean, people have spoiled it. It's not really good. No one is really interested in, um, like, when you talk to people, right? I'll come to that. How long does it take you to learn, take take to you learn coding at advanced level? Buddy Prem, I'm still learning. I think it just takes some time to be at a stage where you can do a job, and then job में रह के once you start learning तो होता है. ठीक है, I think you can learn a programming language within 1 or 2 months, but you cannot learn computer science within 1 or 2 months. Okay, so coding पे मत जाया करो. If you really want to be a software developer, real वाला developer, uh, वो फेक डेवलपर्स नहीं, या फिर फेक नहीं कहूँगा, कि अगर आपको सिंपल कोडिंग करना है वो कॉल सेंटर में बैठ के वो वाला, आई रिस्पेक्ट देम एज वेल. इफ यू वांट टू डू दैट quickly, take 1 or 2 months of tuitions and get it done. But if you really want to be a developer, you need to get used to computer science concepts, what is the basics and all, how does an operating system work, database management system, compiler design, programming languages, and all of these things are very important. Bangalore. Yeah, be me, stay in village, Gurgaon. Advanced level is only those who start bending the fundamentals, in my opinion. Yeah, I think managing coding with another branch is hectic. Prem, I understand. I totally understand. You once finish it, like don't necessarily get into tech engineering अगर नहीं जाना है तो. Like you can relate, like biology में भी कहीं ना कहीं engineering रहती है. You can be that, you can be whatever. कौन सी branch है क्या करते हो I don't know, है ना? So yeah, I mean, electronic student here, so I can relate. Yeah, see, people can relate and people have done it, right? देखो, hectic रहेगा, difficult रहेगा, and that's why not everyone can do it, right? So if it's difficult, go and try to figure out time. थोड़ा और मेहनत करो, push harder, do it. If it takes 1 more month, क्या जाता है? यार लोग एक एक साल जॉबलेस रह के काम करके फिर मेहनत करते हैं. It's okay. If it takes like कुछ करो, I'm not saying be jobless. Do something along with this, right? Once you're preparing, you do it. Yeah. Alright, guys, I was talking about this Bangalore stuff. Do you want to hear my rant about Bangalore? I mean, I don't want people to come to my flat and say that ये Bangalore में रहता है इसको पीटो. Try engineering in your branch. Trust me, if you figure it out, you get paid like hell more than CS grads. Yeah. Yep. Sure. Go in. मरवाओगे तुम लोग यार. कुछ नहीं. Yes. Alright, my rant about Bangalore is not about Bangalore as a city. Bangalore as a culture as well, no. I think Bangalore as a city where it originated from, it was beautiful, very nice. There's still some military bases around, really good weather and all. But what has happened is I'm going to talk about the youth that has come over, not just to Bangalore but to tech, right? Um, Party karna is fine, but influence karna is not fine, right? पार्टी करना, आपको ड्रग्स भी लेना है आप लो, पुलिस पकड़ेगी आपको लेके जाएगी, दैट्स फाइन, आई एम फाइन विद इट, ठीक है. लेकिन आप किसी को जाके फोर्स कर रहे हो, राइट, व्हेन यू आर डूइंग इट विद, लाइक व्हेन यू आर डूइंग इट फॉर अदर्स कि ओके नहीं यू शुड डू इट, यू कैन नॉट बी इन आवर company, like you cannot be a good friend because you don't drink, because you don't smoke, because you don't do drugs, you don't do that, you don't do that. This is really bad thing, and this is what has come into India, not even just Bangalore. Okay, and the reason I talk about Bangalore is one thing. Okay, I'll talk about it. The thing is, I'll I'll tell you, okay, a lot of people choose IIT Bombay over IIT Kharagpur, maybe IIT Madras. See, IIT Madras has an extraordinary status, like whatever kind of graduates they have produced. Okay, the point is, why do they choose IIT Bombay? Because Bombay is a city. They'll get freedom, and freedom मतलब क्या होता है ना, like nowadays what that means is, okay, going away from family, going away from restrictions, and those are not restrictions, they are looking out for you, right? They are making sure that beta come back on time, sleep on time, don't do all these bad things. Okay, if you go and say that papa I'm gonna go gym, I'm gonna go at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna come back at 10 o'clock, your father will never say that. Okay, no, he might drop you and come and pick you up. Okay, but if you say that papa I'm gonna go and drink with friends when you are 17 years old, right, of course he's gonna be like beta now is not the age, right? You're not mature enough to realize what's your limit, right? These things they don't understand. And what happens is, when you start earning at a very younger age, right, and that to 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh rupees, right, per month, what ends up having is that, like, every the whole control on money is there. Okay, not even, like, I will tell you one thing. Okay, interns come over here, they earn some 60,000, 70,000 to 1 lakh rupees per month. Okay, now let's say even if they are, like, their parents are keeping an eye on the interns, like their wards children, right? Okay, okay, where are you spending and all, that's okay. What will end up having, their mentors will say that I'll pay. Okay, their mentors will even spoil them further. Okay, so that's what happens. Ki if I'm not earning enough, right, if Kush is not earning enough, Kush has just came to Bangalore, like Kush has just come to Bangalore, my friends might end up saying that, okay, छोड़, तू आजा आराम से, दारू साथ में पियेंगे, ठीक है, या ये साथ में करेंगे. मैं दारू एज एन एग्जांपल ले रहा हूँ. आई हैव स्टार्टेड, like I just recently drank around 1 or 2 months back, for the first time in my life. ऐसा नहीं है कि I'm a drinker, but I have tried once. Okay, I'll tell you the story, it's very funny. But my point is, right, ki don't influence someone, right? The very first time I went on a drink, right, um, there were a couple of interns, and they said, no, we don't drink, right? And they were interns, okay, in a really, really good college. I can't name the college, I will not name the company, right? And no, none of us literally even asked them to drink. We asked them once, do you want to drink? You are with us, don't worry. You will be fine. We'll not let you cross the limits. They said, no, we'll take care of you instead. Then they had lemon juice and all, they had fruit juice. They were very, like, all of them were guys, by the way. I'm not saying कि girls थी and all थी. वो सब मैं बात में नहीं जा रहा. They were not even drinking, right? I'm not saying कि as an intern you should drink or you should not drink. देखो, everything is fine as long as you stay in limits. You know what you're doing. You know where your savings are going. You know your goals. Life में goal ही नहीं है किसी का. You tell me, okay, I'll go and tell you this thing, ठीक है? Like you go and say this, ठीक है कि यार ये weekend यहाँ चलते हैं, इस weekend वहाँ चलते हैं, इस weekend यहाँ चलते हैं. If your goals are on track, ठीक है, you can have entertainment for sure. But अगर आपकी ज़िंदगी ही खराब हो रखी है, then why are you spending time? देखो, at the end of the day you are gonna come and cry, right? Like मैं I have spent time doing these and things and all, right? सिंपल सी चीज़ है. इफ़ यू थिंक लाइफ इज़ गोइंग वेल, इफ़ यू डोंट थिंक लाइफ इज़ गोइंग वेल, एंटरटेनमेंट इज़ फाइन. बट एंटरटेनमेंट इज़ व्हेन यू आर बोर्ड. एंटरटेनमेंट इज़ व्हेन यू रिक्वायर एंटरटेनमेंट. यार 5 days ऑफ वर्क, उसके बाद हर 2 weekends यू डोंट नीड टू बी आउट. आउट मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि यू डोंट नीड टू डू थिंग्स दैट आर नॉट मेड फॉर यू. इवन इफ यू आर डूइंग इट, डोंट एंड अप इन्फ्लुएंसिंग अदर्स, राइट? डोंट एंड अप जजिंग पीपल दैट नहीं यार ये ड्रिंक नहीं करता, ये इज़ अ बोरिंग पर्सन. अरे व्हाट्स योर डेफिनेशन ऑफ बोरिंग? Right? I mean, your whole definition of boring is starting with drinking and all. No, like, why do I need to, this thing, right? They say that, okay, after drinking, you lose senses, then it feels good. Why do you want to lose sense? Right? Why? I mean, why is it fun to lose sense? I don't get it. ठीक है, ड्रिंकिंग इज फन, ओके, आई गेट इट. लेकिन आपको अपनी लिमिट्स क्रॉस करके या आपको अपने दिमाग में जो भरा पड़ा है उससे भाग के मिल क्या रहा है? Why is drinking an escape route for people? For me, drinking would only be कि ठीक है, for company I'm drinking with my teammates, with my friends. Okay, I'm gonna drink a little if I want to. If I want to, right? Complicating lifestyle to avoid life. Bangalore. Yep. Don't force someone else to step over the line. Exactly, right? I mean, after getting into jobs, there are not goals as switched from one to others. That only one thing you can do. नहीं यार, I mean, देखो, there are always some goals, right? Like, you want to be rich, sure. Are you moving towards that goal? That's a simple question that you can ask yourself, right? My goal, for example, would be to, okay, I want to be fit, I want to do this and that. Am I going in that direction, right? You always chase goals, and once you get there, get that, there's new goal. Having fun, not just drinking, is a good amount. In a good amount, where you're also focusing on goals is good. Exactly, right? Like, देखो, there are multiple definitions of having fun. It could be drinking for you, it could be partying for you, it could be dancing for you. I'm not saying that. लेकिन वहाँ पे जाके पब्स में लोग लिमिट्स क्रॉस करते हैं यार. लाइक आई मीन, लिमिट्स की डेफिनेशन अगेन, मेरे हिसाब से जो लिमिट्स की डेफिनेशन है कि व्हेन यू आर इन पब्लिक, हैव सम डिसेंसी. Like, you know, don't fight with each other. Don't end up being very, very physical with each other. Like, there are people drinking, I mean, sitting there as well, right? Yeah, I mean, you देखो, mediocre रहना भी is a goal. If you think that being in a middle class is easy, it's not. Drinking gives them a sense of adulting. Adulting has become a trend, and trends afflict those who lack purpose. Yeah, makes sense. Exactly right. That's a good point to say. So, I mean, that's what I think is going wrong, right? Like, I mean, when layoffs happened, I even see people being okay with it. I'm like, why are you okay with layoff? Right? Like, why are you not understanding that it's something wrong? Is like, so, like, if I get laid off today and if I say that, like, market is down, that's why I'm not getting a job. Why is market down? Abnormal is hiring, right? There are other companies I know that they're hiring. If you're getting rejected, there's something wrong in your profile, or you're not looking out enough, right? Stop blaming everything. Like, they have a reason to blame. Like, if I say this today, simple cheese, okay, I'm not fit. What's the problem? Because I'm a vegetarian. We don't have enough protein in our dishes, okay? Simple thing I'll say. Okay, I'm a vegetarian. Why are you fat? Because I live alone in a 1 BHK. I'm away from my parents. It's very hard to cook. I work for a tech company. It's very difficult to find life balance and all. Why? I mean, like, रियली कुछ सेंस बनता है इस बात का, राइट? आप हर चीज़ में किसी एक को, दूसरे को ब्लेम योरसेल्फ, राइट? फाइंड फॉल्ट्स इन योरसेल्फ कि आप क्या कर रहे हो. आई मीन, आई हर्ड दैट सोशल ड्रिंकिंग विद मैनेजर्स इज नेसेसरी टू मेक दैट नेटवर्किंग कनेक्शंस एंड प्रमोशन. अरे भाड़ में जाए, प्रमोशन के लिए ड्रिंक करना पड़े तो उस मैनेजर का बोलो निकले यहाँ से, ठीक है. I go out to cafes with managers after work instead of drinking. The talk goes well. Always the network stays strong. You don't need to drink alcohol. ये सब बातें होती हैं यार. देखो, I'll tell you what this very simple thing. I've seen this thing happening in big tech companies. What they end up doing is, ये mentors जो होते हैं, ये tech leads जो होते हैं, they end up crossing the limits with girls and their interns. ठीक है. This thing is very common. ठीक है. I'm accepting it कि मैंने story सुनी है, मैंने लोगों को सुना है करते हुए, ड्रिंक करे हुए इंटर्न को बुला लिया, ये सब होता है. दिस थिंग इज़ ऑलवेज देयर. ठीक है. कास्टिंग काउच जैसे बॉलीवुड में होता है ना, टेक में भी है ये सब चीज़ें. बात ख़त्म. ठीक है. ये सब चीज़ें होती हैं. अब दैट्स ऑल आई एम सेइंग. लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि यू हैव टू डू इट. मैंने आज तक नहीं किया, एंड मैं उस स्टेज में भी नहीं हूँ जो मैं एज अ मेंटर नहीं हूँ एंड ऑल. There are a lot of people, bro. Yes, life in the four walls while you're alive right now. What's vegetarian cope? Soy and dairy is good enough protein. I don't have dairy, but yeah. Paneer I eat a lot. Chana. They're good things, right? Chicken cows soja for protein. Life in the four walls while you're alive right now. I think we should have a discussion on that. What's the meaning of life one day? Good discussions, right? Alright, so I mean, overall, what do I mean? Okay, again, I'll talk about my drinking journey if you would like in another stream. But all I'm saying is कुछ गलत नहीं होता. ठीक है, कुछ गलत नहीं है, लेकिन आप अपनी ज़िंदगी ख़राब करनी है करो. दैट्स यू आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दैट, राइट. लेकिन आप किसी और की ज़िंदगी ख़राब करने के लिए प्लीज़ अपनी रिस्पॉन्स मत लो. लाइक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी मत लो उस चीज़ की कि नहीं आज इसको तो मैं पिला के रहूँगा. हाउ इज़ दैट योर गोल? लाइक आधे से ज़्यादा लोगों का, हाफ ऑफ द पीपल आई नो हैव केप्ट दिस एज अ गोल कि कुछ को दारू पिलानी है. I'm like, why is your, like why is कुछ in your goals in life? Why? Because they know कि यार कुछ सब कुछ, मतलब ही हैज़ बीन स्टडिंग एंड ही हैज़ बीन डूइंग एंड ऑल. इसको दारू पिला देंगे तो लगेगा कि हम भी सही कर रहे हैं. अरे भाई, मैं ज़िंदगी में एक बार दारू पी लिया, उसके बाद मैं पीना होगा मुझे तब 3 महीने बाद पीऊँगा या 2 हफ्ते बाद पीना है, मेरी चॉइस के बेसिस पे पीऊँगा. राइट. यू कांट चेंज मी, यू कांट पीयर इन्फ्लुएंस मी एट ऑल. वाई इज कुछ इन योर life goals, right? I listen till you're my girlfriend. I agree. Always had a good time with my seniors when going out without drinking. Had mock taste, and good conversation. Yeah, you don't need alcohol to network. That's what I'm saying. Be me, be the designated driver of the group, and no one will do that. Wife will don't hang out and drinks. That's why woman's not getting promotion. नहीं 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 प्रेम. Yes, I think that's a sounds like a decent goal to stay alive. चलो यार, चलो. Cool. I think enough bashing. I will make sure that this stream is unlisted so that people don't cry about me crying about this culture thing. I don't want to open source it. ये क्या चल रहा है यहाँ पे लोग? Why I don't know. Cool. चलो, all right guys. I'm gonna play badminton. देखो, again, sports can be fun. Yeah. We're drinking protein shake, not alcohol. यार हाँ, guide me about protein shake by the way guys. Give me, like I've been doing a lot of gymming and decent gymming as well. So I'm thinking कि I might, given my weight, I might want to take slight, मतलब I'm confused whether I should take protein shake or not. Master from IIT or MBA. But yeah, I'm a BTech from Triple IT in Ann Apple. I'm gonna start working on my PR now for a new job. Also, I'm almost there. By the way. Fingers crossed. Wish you the best, buddy. Drinking is a good habit. Yeah, drink water. Depends what you're drinking. Yeah. I'm asking what's better, master or MBA. Oh, sorry. यार सब सही है यार प्रेम. देखो, इसमें कुछ नहीं होता. अम, ये जो करना है करो. कुछ कुछ मास्टर फ्रॉम IIT, MBA, जो करना है करो. एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर डूइंग इट बेटर, आई थिंक इट्स ऑल फाइन. बात करते हैं प्रोटीन्स पे. हाँ, अच्छे से बात करते हैं. यू डू अ बीटेक फ्रॉम MIT. काश, आई विश वन डे इफ आई हैड दैट स्किल. चलो, ऑलराइट गाइस, थैंक यू सो मच. येस एग्जैक्टली यार. देखो, अच्छे से करो जो करना है. एज आई सेड, लाइक इवन इफ आई वुड हैव बीन अ गार्ड, आई वुड बी अर्निंग मोर इफ आई वाज अ गार्ड ऑफ अंबानीज होम. ठीक है. अगर मैं मुझे अर्न करना है, आई ऑलवेज फाइंड अ वे टू अर्न. ठीक है. देर इज नथिंग लाइक स्टॉपिंग यू फ्रॉम अर्निंग. ठीक है. देर इज ऑलवेज अ वे. You just do it religiously, judiciously, and trust the process. Okay, it's gonna happen. And keep it rating, keep it rating. It's all fine. Okay. All right, guys. Next stream on gym and protein shake. I want to discuss that because I think I need help. Okay. All right. See you then. Next time. Until next time. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. This was Kushal Shishmani. You were watching my stream. Is remote that easy? Let's talk that. Yeah, it's not easy. Yes, it's not easy. कुछ ईज़ी नहीं है, कुछ ईज़ी नहीं है। इवन वर्किंग फ्रॉम बैंगलोर इज़ नॉट ईज़ी, ऐसा नहीं है। रिमोट में यू नीड अ लॉट ऑफ फोकस, you need to have really good asynchronous communication. Baranium does it. You can join our Discord and ask him the questions there. I think he also streams. You can join his stream as well sometimes and ask the questions. Okay. So all right. Bye bye everyone. Take care. Thank you so much for joining. Bye. Ta-da.